Great. Thank you very much, Mr. Chill, Windsor's very own Kelly Hoppy, with his compatriot Greg Cox. And folks, if you liked what you heard, you're going to want to check out the second annual LaSalle Craft Beer Festival happening tonight and tomorrow. We're here with Terry Fink, Director of Recreation and Culture at the town of LaSalle.
Yes, that's correct.
So Terry, let me ask you, why a craft beer festival? What's it all about?
Well, it's. I think what we're doing is we're responding to the public interest about craft beer. I think there's a large population out there that are very interested in tasting different types of beer that are brewed differently by different brewers, and people come out and are interested in that taste.
So you've got a dozen brewing companies represented. That's right.
We do, yeah.
What are some of them?
Well, we've got a couple of local ones. I just got to look at my cheat sheet here for a minute, but. You know, we've got the Mill Street Brewery, we've got, and I got to put my glasses on for a sec. That's probably not very good. But Lake of the Bays from around Erio, Midland Brewery locally, and I mentioned Mill Street, Nickelbrook, Steam Whistle, and of course our own Walkerville is coming.
Bow's All Natural as well, I hear.
Yes, that's right.
I've heard good things about that.
They're very tasty.
Kelly, let me ask you, do you like craft beer?
Yeah, I do. I do very much so.
Oh, do you have any preferences?
Cold. No. Actually, when you were just mentioning Lake of the Bays up near Rondo Park, yeah, yes. I've got family on one side, my in-laws, if you will, so I've been up there a couple times, been visiting and going there, and I really enjoy it. And Walkerville too, our local Walkerville brewery products I really dig too.
And Greg, yourself, are you a connoisseur?
I am. I love. Let's see, my favorites are Walkerville Milk Stout. I like the pumpkin ale put out by Mill Street, and Steam Whistle.
Steam Whistle, and they're represented at the festival.
They are. So, Greg, you got to come.
I'll be there.
I know.
Let me ask you something. Even though Kelly, with his last name, would probably be the better one to ask this, but when people talk about beers being hoppy, what do they mean?
I don't know. Maybe Mr. Hoppy could explain that better.
I don't know really what that means. I like hoppy beers, and I'm not punning with you, but can anybody help me here?
I can.
Yeah, I thought
well,
you might be able to.
You know, a lot of the craft beer is developed through hops, which is a grain. And really, in some ways, it's an old grain, and it's some of the breweries are having some difficulty actually getting it because it's not grown widely. So there's always a search for the hops that are being produced, and they actually come out of a flower, and then they dry, and then they do all different things to it, and that's how they get the hops.
The quest for hops is
the quest for hops, yes.
Okay. But it's not just about the beer; it's also about the party. 8 live music acts, is that right?
8 live music acts tonight and tomorrow, and good food too is coming.
So tonight, Ron Leary and Kelly and Greg, you guys are tomorrow night. That's right.
Tomorrow night, that's right.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yes.
See what else we got to talk about. Kelly, I understand that this is going to be one of your last local gigs before you go on a very special trip.
Yeah, you know, my musical day job is Big Sugar, and we just put a new album out called Calling All the Youth at the end of August, early September, so we're going to tour Canada. It's the first territory we're going to do. We released it in Canada. It's going to come out in the United States and Europe next year, but so we're going to do Ontario and all the provinces west on a tour starting in Sarnia on the 23rd of October, and I'll get home around December 1st, all the way out to Vancouver and back. So
if people want to check you out, they should definitely check you out tomorrow night.
Yeah, sure. I mean, check me out at any time, but tomorrow night it's kind of our last big gig. We play at the Williston every Thursday. Greg and I do, and we'll be there next Thursday, and then that's definitely my last one. But this is tomorrow night's pretty special. So.
Okay. Now, it's all happening around the Volmer complex?
It is 221 Laurier Drive, and of course in LaSalle. And the admission is, tickets are $10 in advance, so you can get them up to about 5 o'clock this afternoon, and then $15 at the door.
And I understand that there's a beer token
Yes,
system.
that's how we do it. So you actually purchase the beer tokens and take them to the craft brewery and give them, and then they give you a 3-ounce taste of their beer.
How much per token?
And the token's $1.50 each.
Great. And what are the hours at the Volmer complex?
Tonight is from 6 to midnight, and tomorrow is on Saturday from 2 o'clock to midnight.
Great. So we're going to hear a little bit more from Mr. Chill and Greg Cox. And folks, don't forget to check out the LaSalle Craft Beer Festival tonight and tomorrow night.